You know those little dips in the sidewalk at every street corner? The curb cuts?
Oh, yeah.
They were originally designed like specifically for people in wheelchairs, but
Yeah.
now, I mean, who uses them? Everyone.
Right. Parents with strollers, people with rolling luggage, delivery carts.
Yeah.
It's the perfect example of the curb cut effect.
Exactly. And that's the idea we're digging into today for education. We're talking about universal design for learning, or UDL.
Mm-hmm.
We're pulling from Steve Chase's work, the official CAST guidelines, the new 3.0 version, and, how it all connects back to good instructional design.
And it's so important to say right at the top, this isn't just another checklist. It's not about compliance or accommodations.
No, it's a completely different mindset. David Rose from CAST put it perfectly. He said the goal isn't for a student to master, say, history.
Right.
The goal is for them to master learning itself.
Which is such a powerful distinction. And
What?
that gets to the absolute core of UDL, this idea of learner agency.
Okay, so break that down. What does that actually mean?
Well, the guidelines define it as helping learners become, purposeful, resourceful, strategic.
Mm.
But the new 3.0 guidelines add this whole other layer.
You're talking about the focus on bias and exclusion.
Exactly. They explicitly say that you can't really have learner agency if the system itself has hidden barriers. The focus shifts from what's wrong with the learner to what's wrong with the learning environment.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do you build that environment? The framework has three main principles, right? It starts at the why.
Yes, the principle of engagement,
Yeah.
and this is the foundation. I mean, if a learner doesn't care or doesn't feel like they belong, the learning parts of the brain, they just don't activate.
And the guidelines are talking about more than just making it fun. I saw phrases like nurturing joy and play. It sounds much deeper.
It is. It's about connecting the material to a learner's own goals, their own identity. You have to ask, why should you care about this? If you skip that, nothing else really matters.
So once you have the why, you move to the what of learning. That's the second principle, representation.
And this is where that curb cut analogy really comes to life. It's the recognition that people take in information in really different ways.
So not just offering a textbook versus an audiobook.
No, it's even about clarifying symbols and language and visuals. A great example is closed captions on videos.
Oh, totally. They were designed for people with hearing impairments, but I use them all the time.
Everyone does. At the gym, in a loud cafe, or, when you're trying to understand a show with thick accents. It just makes the information more accessible for everyone. It's just better design.
Okay, so you've got engagement, you've got representation, but then you hit what feels like the biggest hurdle in traditional education, the how.
Action and expression.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where a lot of the friction is. We have these very rigid, standardized ways of asking people to show us what they know.
The 5-paragraph essay or the multiple choice test.
Right. And if you struggle with timed writing, for instance, you could fail the test. But that doesn't mean you didn't learn the material.
You just failed at demonstrating it in that one specific way.
Exactly. So to build that agency we were talking about, you have to offer different ways to show mastery. A presentation, a video, a project, a conversation.
Okay, but I can already hear teachers thinking, I don't have time to create 5 versions of every single assignment. That sounds exhausting.
And it would be. You shouldn't try to do that. There's a brilliant piece of advice from Mike Ray in the source material. He calls it the +1 approach.
+1.
That's it. Don't redesign everything. Just add one more choice. If the assignment is a written report, your +1 could be letting students record an audio summary instead.
Ah, that's so simple. Just one alternative.
That one small shift hands the agency back to the learner. And it lines up with what Steve Chase says, too. He suggests widening your practice a little bit each year. It's a long game.
Which connects right back to the goal for this deep dive, really. Identifying what you're learning and figuring out how to apply it step by step.
It's treating your own teaching like a living document, always looking for those little bugs that might be shutting someone out.
So to sum it up, UDL is, well, it's brain-based. It's about being proactive instead of reactive, and it gets us away from that one-size-fits-all model.
And by removing those barriers, you're not lowering the standards. You're making it possible for more people to actually meet them.
So, before we sign off, we want to leave you with a little challenge. Let's call it the One More Choice Challenge.
Look at your world today. It could be a class you teach, a team meeting you run, or even how you share information with your family.
Find one place, just one, where there's only a single rigid way of doing things.
And then just ask, what's one more option I could add?
Because you might just create a curb cut that gives someone else the agency to show you what they really know.
And that's a really powerful place to start.